What's up, investors? It's the Russian dude. And apparently looks like we are potentially heading towards so-called inflationary storm. Which basically means that whenever the Feds were fighting against the inflation so hard for so many months and years and then finally started budging, well, apparently they started to reduce the interest rates, exactly what we're seeing right now, way too early, which then spiraled the inflation to even higher numbers than before. This statement is confirmed by the graph you can see right now on your screens, which shows exactly the same performance of the inflation in the past, when the interest rates were cut way too soon. And so far, even though this is a technical analysis, if you can call it this way, so far we are perfectly repeating the same story, the same performance. Inflation goes up and down in exactly the same way as it used to be in the past. So, now the main question here of the video stands as following. Will the Feds stop emergency rate cuts? Will they start boosting them up once again? Or they will proceed with their soft narrative that the market loves so much and they will do another rate cut, even though this sounds as an extremely counterproductive action. And so far, at least at the moment of recording this video, which will go live on Wednesday 6 AM Eastern Standard Time, it looks like that Feds are not planning to change their mind and they will continue the interest rate cuts. At least one more in December before the year end, and then they will revise their next interest rate policies for 2025. But so far, with very high degree of certainty, more than 90%, according to some most recent polls, it is anywhere between 96 and 99%, there will be another rate cut, well, today. And you already know the very basic relationship between the interest rates and the inflation. Interest rates are low, economic activity increases, the inflation goes up. We already see that the inflation started trending upwards. So the decision to cut the rates, in my personal opinion, this is an extremely bad decision. Why would they even do it? Just for the good headlines, just to say that the economy is doing good, just to show that here we go guys, here the cheap money is back, the stock market will soar next year. Is this the reason for these Fed rate cuts? Under no circumstance I'm saying I'm a Harvard graduate and I know the economy or financial basics, finances 101, economics 101 better than Jerome Powell or his subordinates, but well, sometimes you just have to stick to the basics. Sometimes you don't need to overcomplicate things to see the very minor details, to see the very obvious details. And this obvious detail, once again, right now, is that cutting the rates even further will put even more pressure on the inflation. It will continue to go up, at least. It's not gonna stop, at least it will most likely continue to go up, slowly but surely. In case this is the case, once again, according to this graph, we might see the inflation the same as it used to be in the 60s, 70s and 80s of the last millennium, reaching double digits, as much as almost 15%. In case this happens, this will definitely most certainly break the headlines. Whatever Jerome Powell will be doing in the end of 2024, reducing the interest rate cuts, will be analyzed thoroughly, and well, at that point everyone will see how big of a mistake it was. Goldman Sachs, for example, they do transmit the sentiment of the Wall Street, saying that, well, yes, Jerome Powell, he looks like he made up his mind already, there will be a cut in December, but most likely they do not expect any rate cuts maybe in the entire 2025, or at least in the first quarter or even half of the next year. This will be at least some kind of fight against the inflation, at least they're not continuing to cut the rates, at least they keep it whatever the percentage will be at that point. So maybe this will slow down the inflation, though in my personal idea, in my personal understanding, I don't think it will work. In order to fight inflation, you have to start increasing the interest rates once again, which will be an extremely unpopular decision right now, because a lot of people will understand that, wait a second, something is going wrong. We just start cutting the rates, why would we need to increase them once again after only 3 months since the beginning of the Fed pivot? So far, these are my just assumptions and predictions. I'm curious to hear what you guys think, so please let us know down below in the comments. And if you enjoyed today's video, please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thanks so much for watching, see you tomorrow.